very much through kind of a friendship that we got together. It wasn't a kind of contrived music industry. Go and get Ed Sheeran. It was like, oh, Ed's in town. Do you want to do something with him? I was like, yeah, I do. Let's try it. Who knows what will happen? We'll go to Whole Foods if you know. So yes, I bought Ed a salad in Whole Foods, and everyone went crazy for him in Whole Foods. He's so famous in everywhere, but in the States, like people stopping him. He's huge, and that was kind of crazy to see. And then with Miguel, we wrote 2 tracks on the album. One called Kind of Sometimes Maybe, which I think you'll like, and it's very flirtatious and fun, and then this other one which is called You and I Forever, which is about me celebrating the fact that my now husband proposed to me. But to celebrate this song, Kind of Sometimes Maybe, which we refer to drinking whiskey, because I love whiskey and Miguel loves whiskey. And so there was this mutual love for it. So we were like, well, let's get it in the song. And then we were like, okay, well, we've just written this great song. Let's celebrate by drinking whiskey.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The worst hangover I have ever had. And I had another day with Miguel the next day, and literally I was vomiting, and Benny, my producer, was having to like bring me salty food and like Gatorade, and I was like, oh, I can't move. And then the next day we wrote You and I Forever, where my vocal is so hushed, it's literally like, it's getting late for me, but it's like that because I had the worst hangover and the worst headache. But it kind of worked.
Yeah, it's really
got
great.
On the album, so
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
You worked with Disclosure, Julio Bashma, of course. You got remixed several times by several DJs, Cyril Hahn, for example. And so people could think, Jessie Ware, the new album is going to be so electronic, but actually it's not.
I mean, it's still got a very, I feel like Benzel provided this very fresh electronic sound. So you come to my live show and we're still using synths, and we're using, MPCs where you trigger things and sample things. But so I feel like I think what's happened with this record is that my vocal is very up front and there, and the music kind of is quite sparse behind it, but it's still got these electronic elements, but definitely there's a kind of more classic songwriting and live instrumentation on there too. But I definitely haven't run away from electronic music. I still love it, and it's still on there, and I will always collaborate with electronic producers.
That's good to hear, but it's as well good to hear that you don't just focus on electronic music, because it's really, really quite popular over there.
Yes, it's so popular. Everyone's doing it.
Yeah, everyone is getting like the greatest voices coming up on the electronic beats.
I know. I mean, it's what I started in, that dance music and being a vocalist, Subtract, and having a great remix by Disclosure with Running. And I never want to not do that, because I love it, and I love that feeling of going on in a club and singing with the producers. It's fun. But I am my own artist, and I wanted to explore songwriting and the sonics that I wanted, that aren't just necessarily dictated by an electronic producer.
So, let's listen to another brand new song you just released, Want Your Feeling. Eine Nummer, die ihr jetzt auch schon bekommen könnt, wenn ihr euch das Album einfach schon mal vorbestellt. Tough Love von Jessie Ware kommt am 3. Oktober raus. Wir hören rein und quatschen gleich weiter. Hier, Jessie Ware mit Want Your Feeling. Von Jessie Ware, Want Your Feeling. Jessie Ware ist hier bei mir im Studio. Am 3. Oktober kommt ihre neue Platte raus. Am Sonntag spielt sie beim Berlin Festival. This song is so my favorite so far from the tracks you released.
Thank you. That's really nice to hear.
I like the Greek touch it has. Like this.
I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a sitar or some kind of guitar that doesn't sound like other guitars.
Yeah, I was asking some colleagues, do you think it's a Spanish guitar? And then someone was like, no, this is Greek. It sounds so Greek, everything. So you worked on this song with James Ford, who's part of Simi Mobile Disco, and he produced, Florence and the Machine and Arctic Monkeys so much. So you worked with so many different people this time.
I know, and it doesn't feel like the kind of essence of me has been lost through working with lots of people. I think I learnt to be very confident in the studio, and so working with lots of people, it still was okay, because my voice was the thread throughout it, and I knew what I wanted. So I wrote this song with Dev Hynes, Blood Orange, and we wrote it in Brooklyn, and and it was the first song. It was before Tough Love that we wrote this, but it was on the same kind of week that I wrote this and Tough Love, and it felt really exciting to be writing again, and like, oh, maybe this is what the album's going to sound like. So yeah, I love this song. It's great.
So you've been basically a lot over there in the US during the
because I was touring a lot there, and then one of my producers was American, Benny Blanco. So, and he's so generous with like letting us stay in his apartment, and that's where his studio is. So it's just like, okay, go to New York for a couple of weeks, go to LA because why not? So yeah, it was half and half. It was done in the UK and America.
You didn't do quite a lot of festivals this year. I think you can even count them on one hand.
Yeah.
And so it's really, really great that you will play on Sunday here at Berlin Festival. Excuse me. But when you're going back to the UK, you have a couple of shows coming up to promote your new album, and you've chosen churches.
I know.
That up.
The Jewish girl chose churches. I don't know, really. We just wanted some intimate settings.
Yeah.
And sometimes churches are the most beautiful as well, because, lots of small venues sometimes don't look that nice. And I wanted this to feel very special and intimate, and like you were coming for an occasion, like it was, a drinks party, or it was, a nice dinner party, or so I wanted to make it feel special and somewhere that people don't usually go to see, because there's the standard places that everyone goes to see people. Yeah. But I wanted a bit more thought to it.
But you're playing big as well. You're playing Brixton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you excited for it?
I'm so excited. I've been waiting for that.
Yeah.
Show.
Your biggest show so far.
That will be my biggest.
The festivals.
Yeah, that will be my biggest show in the UK. Yeah.
So I am excited to see many, many pictures of it, because you are so active on Instagram.
Am I?
Yeah, you are. I like it a lot. I told you before that I only follow you and, all the Hiltons, Paris Hilton and her sisters. But
and Nikki.
Yeah, Nikki as well.
What's Nikki up to?
Nikki is really, really nice, because she's more the European part of the family. She's traveling a lot to France because of her husband. No, her fiancé. Okay. They got recently, And Paris is only partying on Ibiza. But with you, I can always see, Jessie Ware is on her way to Berlin, and you see like your legs in the plane, or wherever you stop by, and you're so open. It's you just take pictures all the time. If you just follow other musicians, you only have like press pictures or something. But is it just you don't mind? You just do it up.
I don't mind. I just feel like I'm nosy. So I like to know what everyone's doing. So I just think it's, as long as you're not annoying people by doing too much, like, some people on Instagram, it's just like,
just
unfollow.
Yeah, of course.
So, as long as I'm not annoying people with my posts, but Instagram's fun.
Yeah. No, you don't annoy people. It's actually quite funny, because even your mom is on Instagram, and she's writing you all the time and everything. So it's really much fun.
Yeah, no, my mum is on Instagram. I think her Instagram has been taken up by my wedding, and posting old baby pictures of me, and then wedding photos, and being very proud Jewish mother. So, it's a way of my mother, like, if I'm not answering the phone to her, she knows where I am. So mostly I post so that I don't have to answer the calls to my mother all the time. So I'm like, Mum, you know where I am. I'm in Berlin today. It's fine.
Really nice. So let's talk about your work a bit more. What's coming up next? Of course, there's the release, but I've read already that you will be featured on the new Subtract album. Yes. So what's going on? What's coming out next?
So I'll be on the Subtract album. He asked me to be on it, and I was like, yeah, of course. So I've got a little song on there with him, and then my record will be coming out in October, and then I'll be touring. I want to tour all next year. Yep. I want to go everywhere. I want to come back to Berlin. I always have a really good time in Berlin. I've got really nice fans here. I want to tour and let people hear this album live, because it's a really fun album to hear live, I think.
Will you play on Sunday a lot of new tracks?
Yeah. I mean, apologies if everybody wanted Devotion, but I want to try these songs out on everybody, and And, you know, I've only done 3 gigs with this album, so it's feeling really fresh and exciting for me. So, you know, some people have heard, you know, 3 or 4 tracks from this record now, so hopefully they'll be able to sing along a bit. But yes, it will be majority new songs.
Really, really nice. Thank you so much, Jessie Ware, for being here. Am 3. Oktober kommt ihre neue Platte raus, Album Nummer 2, Tough Love wird die Platte heißen. Und am Sonntagabend könnt ihr sie live sehen beim Berlin Festival. Also nix wie hinder. And Jessie, I've got one more track, Say You Love Me. Is that fine if I play it now?
I'd love you to play it.